I'm telling you, Joshua and Ashley, there are deals like this in LA all day, every day, and this came from a dadgum postcard. A postcard. Did I say a postcard? Yeah, I said a postcard. Hey guys, Alton Jones here with Rehabs2Riches, and welcome to the Rehabs2Riches show. On this last episode of season 1, I'm going to take you through what I call a newbie's nightmare. So right now what we have is a overgrown grass, high vegetation, and these are the things that can take away from a house when you're trying to have buyers look at it. The one thing you do when you come into a project like this is you clear the canvas so that people can see the house from the street, and that's going to give you a better curb appeal. So you don't want high grass and weeds growing on the house because that's going to take away from buyers being able to make good offers. And so with that, I'm going to take you on the inside, and so we can see on the inside how we can change things from there. So as I take you through this house right now, I'm going to tell you, we know what we're doing with projects like this, and it's not for the faint of heart. Anybody can do something like this with the proper instruction. The areas up here that you see that we have some of the ceiling and the popcorn ceiling always have to come out. Some of the popcorn ceiling has already started to be taken out, but every inch of drywall will be removed. All the windows will be removed. And this wall here that's dividing us from the kitchen is very unique. This right here, by taking this wall down, is going to open up the house, because when you open up the house, people will open up their wallet. In other words, they'll pay more money for a house if you give them an open concept, but it has to make sense. On the other side of that wall is a kitchen, and you'll see that shortly. But when I take this wall down, I'll bring the living room into the kitchen and the kitchen into the living room with a huge 9-foot island that will be an open concept, will be a homeowner's dream. Okay, so folks, we're here in the kitchen right now, in the kitchen area, and this is where a fire occurred. It caused some damage to the kitchen area and some of the wood framing, and then also on the second floor that was illegally done that had to be removed. Now, one thing I want you to understand is when you hear the word fire damage or burnt house, don't get scared, because some people see that and hear about that and they think the worst. Well, we only have a few boards. Now, here's some pieces of this firewood that's left over, but we only have a few edges that in the corner at the top and on some of the joists there are burned. They look singed. Those little areas can be replaced very easily. It's only like maybe about 4, maybe 5 pieces of board that has to be replaced. That's only costing you less than a couple $100. And if you did that, and then all of a sudden you put some new other style of framing on it, it's all brand new. So only a portion of the house was fire damaged, even though the second floor was taken off, but that was illegal in the first place. So it doesn't really matter. But when you look at this situation and think, well, I got a fire damaged house, that's opportunity. You got to do your due diligence. You got to investigate. But to me, it just weeds a lot of people out. So for those of you out there who are scared to do deals like this, don't worry about it. With the proper training, through our training that we teach in our training courses, you can learn a lot how to do these type of deals with ease, and you will welcome any type of property like this in your portfolio. So we have this area where this was probably an old Spanish style house. You have a lot of old built-ins. You got very solid structure here. This is very good framing here. This is framing we want to keep. We want to keep that bedroom there, this bathroom here, and that bedroom over there. We're just going to add to it. We're going to create a huge master suite that's going to be a homeowner's fantasy. So we're going to be able to do those things and still be able to use existing home. The one thing I like about this room, this bathroom, is that we have a linen closet here that we don't need. So we could take this linen closet that's here and remove this, and now we have a bigger bathroom. We have the tub that's over here that's boxed in. We can remove that nasty square, snooty fox looking bathtub and take it out. And some of you guys know when I say the snooty fox, okay, this snooty fox bathtub has got to go. And then we're going to take these old double hung windows, and we're going to create a better wall for the vanities and the sink area to be desirable. And the other here, you have your toilet over here, which is like you got this toilet's boxed in, you got the tub that's boxed in, and you got your vanity is boxed in. Again, go with the concept of opening up the room, opening up the house, so that way you can see more of it, have more access to this, because you have a closet over here. This is a closet for the next bedroom. Well, why not push the closet on the other side, open this up, and now you got an extra, 3 to 4 feet of space to use for a huge master bathroom. So, or even a guest bathroom for that matter. You can actually put a separate shower, separate tub in this room with a double vanity. So these are some beautiful things you can do in a house like this. And they even have another closet, another 5 feet by 8 feet in another room that I can use for more space to this bathroom. This could be a huge bathroom. So with that, I'm going to show you some other things about the bedrooms that I thought was attractive too, and some things you got to keep an eye out too regarding your foundations, okay? So foundations is something that you need to pay attention to. When you're dealing with foundations, you don't know if you have a foundation problem. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. In other words, you can actually do some tests and look at some things. By one, when you're coming to a job site, you can bring a big marble or you can bring a golf ball with you, and you can see if putting the golf ball on one side of the room to the other side of the room, if it moves down to the other side, you probably got a compromised foundation. The other things you can look at are some of these cracks in the walls. And these cracks in the wall, it's like the Grand Canyon. It goes up and down and up over here and up again. So this could mean that you have a compromised foundation. It could be only 1 or 2 piers, or it could not be that. It could be something else that's pulling it away. Such as I saw and noticed on the front porch is moving away. And the way this happens is all that vegetation and the water going down, and that stuff gets into the foundation, it starts to tear away from the house. So it's pulling the house away because the foundation is corroding because of the water that is seeping down into the foundation, and because of the tree and the bushes are pulling it away. This can happen to your foundation, and all that weight just pulls it. So all we have to do, one, is remove all this drywall, number one. Number two, go under the house and look at the pier post that's under the house, because this is a raised foundation, not a slab foundation. So it's easier for us to be able to inspect it and correct it. So with that, again, keep in mind, some owners, when they see this crack, the other thing is to try to hide it when they're selling the property. They use wallpaper like this. This is wallpaper. And sometimes they'll take wallpaper and hide the crack. Because right now I can see the crack, but if I put wallpaper over it, you won't see it. So don't be fooled by the wallpaper that they have in there. Just do your due diligence, do an inspection, have a home interior inspection done to give you the facts about what's really going on with the house, of the things that you may miss. So we're in the bedroom right now, folks, and one of the things you have to look for, it's not inside the bedroom that I'm going to focus on, it's what's outside the bedroom. And that is, if you pan up and look at that bush, that tree right there, that tree is damaging to this house, because all the growth in this tree here is now leaning to a point where it's on top of the roof of the house, which now can cause termites, rodents to go as a tree, as a travel way to get around through the yard and on top of the house. But also it creates termites, severe termites, subterranean termites, and all those other termites. And then also with the leaves that fall down and the dead leaves that fall on the house, when the water hits the roof from a rain, that stuff sits there and pools together. So therefore, it causes water damage, because the water has nowhere to go, because the vegetation and the leaves that's grown and dropped onto the roof, it now causes the roof to be damaged, because now the water has to go nowhere but down, and it soaks down into the roof, which now means that you now have more termites, more compromised wood. So you can see some of the edges along that thick plywood, and that's 3/4 inch plywood. And that 3/4 inch plywood is now compromised, and it has only one layer of shingle on top. That all has to be removed. This open area where the fire department had to cut through to do ventilation, they're actually doing the homeowner a favor by cutting it open, because you can see the severe damage there. Because that tree, and that's why we come in here and clear the canvas and get rid of the trees, because you should not have trees grow on top of your house, because it just reduces the lifetime of the house, because your roof is now damaged. So it had a 20 or 30 year lifespan. Now it's reduced to maybe 5 or 10 because of the damage from the trees that's dripping on top of the roof. So from that, I'm going to take you outside on some things we're going to show you about what we're going to do to the back. Okay, folks, so we're outside in the backyard, and a couple of things again we want to talk about is the vegetation. You can see what I talked about earlier, the trees growing on top of the house. That is damaging to a house. And then you have dead trees here, this huge dead tree that's over here that's actually falling apart. This tree is what I call a widowmaker. If that tree fell on a house, it would kill everyone inside. So we want to be able to compromise and cut this tree down and make it safe for the homeowner who's going to live here. The other thing is, I hate this bush over here. That's a bougainvillea bush. It's got thorns. It's like a briar patch to me. So, and all it does is hides all the rodents and insects and the termites and all the critters in there. So we're going to have to clear it out, because it's taking up space, and it's now on our side, but it's growing on the neighbor's side. So we're going to clear that out, and this entire backyard has all this green vegetation, and all that green vegetation will end up looking like this eventually. And that's no good to a backyard. Now in this backyard, we're required by the city to put a 2-car garage based on the size of our house. So because we have to build a brand new structure here, we have to do a foundation, which means we have to grade everything, pour the foundation, and erect the two-car garage. And so therefore 2 cars could be in there. That is required by the city. So we cannot get away with doing not doing a garage. Now, yes, normally I take a garage and turn it into an ADU for those who follow me and see what we do. But in this case here, ADU is not something that we have to do in this particular neighborhood. So we're not going to do an ADU. We're going to put a nice garage, 2-car garage. We're going to push out on this property about another 20 feet, and we're going to make another master bedroom, master bath suite that's going to have a French sliding door that's going to walk out to an open deck that you can actually celebrate and have a good time with your family and friends with a nice deck, and it's going to be beautifully landscaping. Every house around here is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. This is the ugliest house in the neighborhood, and we're going to make it right to where people are going to want this house so bad they're going to fight for it, and it will be a bidding war. I have no doubt we're going to be well over $1.2 million in the purchase and the sale of this house at the end of the day. So that's all I got to show on this last episode of season 1. I'm Alton Jones. I will see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded.